Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to another edition of Jerry's Take on China. I'm Jerry. Today I'm going to talk about something called fire ice. Never heard of it? That's hardly surprising. Neither had I until a few days ago. And then I saw something that really perked my interest. A CGTN video on YouTube which explained how China has succeeded in doing something no other country has done. 60 days of continuously mining methane hydrate or methane calthrate, to give it its proper names, and then stopping so that the results of the experiment can be assessed. Until relatively recently, 1960, when it was discovered on Earth by Russian scientists, methane hydrate was a theoretical substance that was believed to be widely available in outer space, but not here on Earth. Then after the 1960 discovery, it went from being theory to fact and unavailable to quite the opposite. Don't worry, I'm not going to get all nerdy and give chemical explanations for this. I'd probably get them wrong, and I prefer to leave all that to the scientists. What I do know about it is this: there's more fire ice than all the other reserves of coal, gas and oil that we know of combined. It's more efficient and it's cleaner than the other fossil fuels that we currently use. And for every cubic meter of fire ice, we get 164 cubic meters of methane gas, the gas that we're shipping and pumping around the world. So it's a heck of a lot more efficient. So how come I never learned about this in school? It's quite simple, really. It's not easy to get to. It is found in abundance under the Arctic and the Antarctic, and also at points where the continental shelves drop away to the deep ocean. Several countries have successfully extracted it, but as we know, methane is a very dangerous gas for our environment. Some experts suggest it's 25 to 30 times more harmful to the environment than CO2. For this reason, the experiments to extract it are very carefully controlled and analyzed. China wasn't the first to successfully mine fire ice, but it was the first to do so continuously, and during that experiment they raised more of it to the surface than any other country has done so far. Back in 2017, when CNN was still writing favorable reports about China, there was a great deal of optimism based on what China was doing. There are some concerns, however, and one of these is the fact that, being a fossil fuel, it is still going to burn off into CO2, and there are some environmental concerns. But this is where China has been really quite smart. Apart from building special platforms for deep sea exploration and drilling, and special ships which have the ability to explore places that were considered impossible just a few years ago, China's submersible exploration came of age. From nowhere just 12 years ago, China now leads the world in attaining world records in submersible exploration and cable laying. China is the world's largest polluter, no one denies that, but it's also the world's most populous country and the world's largest manufacturing country. For over 40 years after reform and opening up, China played catch-up as developed nations exported their dirt, their waste, their garbage and their most polluting industries into China. And these facts are often overlooked and forgotten when people criticize China. Another thing is, I've mentioned before in previous videos, on a per capita basis, countries such as Australia and Canada with vast lands, low populations, really ought to look at their contributions to environmental destruction. On per capita bases, these are both many more times more polluting than China has ever been, even during its worst years. People criticizing China for its contributions to pollution and its reliance on coal-powered stations aren't getting the full picture. Every city in China now has better air quality than before. In the last few years where I live in the Greater Bay Area, the air quality index is usually around 20 to 30, and this makes for a very pleasant living environment. The fuller picture is that China is using better quality coal than it used to. It's also using carbon capture techniques which are connected to the fire ice exploration because captured carbon can be pushed into the spaces that are left where the methane hydrate is pulled out. That's fixing two problems at the same time: how to extract fire ice and where to put our captured carbon. China's also building power stations in the desert using new technology to cool the power plants. This requires much less water. These power stations are many miles from the city, and they're designed to lessen the effect on humanity. Having done that, it's transferring this cleaner energy to places that need it by world record length power transmission lines. The Ximen-Taizhou link carries power generated in Inner Mongolia, where there's plenty of coal and enough sunlight and wind to support much larger populations. This power line travels 1,682 kilometers to the east coast, where it's needed. It would be fair to say, after years of playing catch-up, that China is leading the way in environmentally friendly power and the power needs of the future. So with fire ice, with cleaner technology, with everything that China is doing, we are looking towards a great future for power generation in China, and that has got to be good for all of humanity. So once again, if you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to add to this, please contact me in the comments. I will get back to you with an answer or a further comment, and we can take the discussion further on. Thanks very much once again for watching. Bye for now.